picture on the TV.
This week on Sierra Shorts, Esther gets poked at a few inklings, tattoo, and body piercing. We take in some art at the Blue Line Studio and Gallery. Doc Kaminsky gives us the skinny on Marilyn Monroe. We go war driving with Jay McDonald. And visit with musical guest Joe Satriani. All this and much, much more, so pop a gold one, toss the remote, and join us now for Sierra Shorts.
Missouri. A confused deer jumped into the bed of a woman in a nursing home. The residents of the Indian Hills Retirement Village had just eaten their breakfast when the deer appeared. It ran into the room, jumped in the bed, and cut the woman. The deer then got out of bed and walked around the halls, complaining about bingo starting late.
A 72-year-old Berlin nightclub owner is offering the last woman he sleeps with before he dies $125,000 inheritance. Rolf Eden says he wants to die in the arms of a beautiful young woman, preferably under 30, and the offer is written in his will. I want wild sex, a last orgasm, and it will all end with a heart attack, Eden said.
A herd of wild elephants driven berserk by malt liquor trampled to death 6 people, among them 4 children, during a rampage in India's northeastern state of Assam. Experts say hundreds of wild elephants in search of food regularly emerge from the forests of Assam to trample rice fields and destroy granaries. It's been noticed that elephants have developed a taste for beer and malt liquor, and they always look for it when they invade villages, an elephant expert says.
Hi, this is Esther with Sierra Shorts. I'm here tonight at A Few Inklings Tattoo and Body Piercing with Big Time. Tell us a little bit about your shop.
Well, we do tattooing and body piercing here.
How many tattoos do you think you've done during your career?
Quite a few.
Do you have a favorite place to tattoo?
Well, there's a lot of favorite places. Style, I just tattoo what anybody wants me to tattoo.
Now, what made you want to have a shop of your own?
Because I don't get along with anybody else. When I first started getting tattoos and stuff, it seemed like it was only bikers and sailors that got tattoos. Now I've tattooed school teachers and secretaries.
Now, given the permanency of a tattoo, what advice would you have for the new tattoo goer that's just thinking about getting their first tattoo and isn't sure?
Spend some time and think about what you want to get, because it's going to be there forever. And that would be about it, make sure it's what you want.
Are there any things you shouldn't do while your tattoo's still new?
Yeah, don't put Vaseline on it, don't put Neosporin on it, don't put Bacitration on it, it pulls the ink out.
Now, would you feel comfortable showing us some of your tattoos?
Okay, you want to see an Apache Jill tattoo?
I would love to.
That's an Apache Jill.
That's beautiful.
Especially like right around the nipple area, that's a real sensitive area.
Right. You seem like a sensitive kind of guy.
Hey, every time I get sensitive though, somebody gets socked.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get there with you. I would really like to thank you for having this interview with us.
Well, great. I'm glad to have you.
I would definitely come back here.
Sexual sense.
No. This is Big Time. And I would get tattooed here, and I don't have one, but I've really been thinking about getting a tattoo, and I really like his shop, and they're really friendly, and I want to thank you very much.
Okay.
Police officers. They are everywhere. If all the police officers in the United States were to hold hands, they would stretch from the Statue of Liberty in New York to Disney's Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. With so many cops running around, even though violent crime is declining in the U.S., chances are one of them will detain you or someone you know for routine questioning sometime soon. When that happens, it is important that you know how to interact with police officers. When approached by an officer of the law, one must be extremely careful not to appear afraid or intoxicated. It is important that you remain calm and polite, and always keep your hands in plain sight. Most police officers startle easily and may become dangerous if they feel threatened. Like all things, we can learn from each other's experience. In the following dramatization, Little Brother will show us what can happen when a wrong turn leads to a visit from Officer Jack.
This is Dean Roberts with Sierra Shorts. How are we doing this evening? I'm speaking with Jeff Johnson, a local artist, and he's going to explain this piece to us because, I dig it, but I have no idea what it is. Jeff, how you doing?
Howdy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell me something about your piece here.
Well, this is called Coming to Grips with Space in Practical Terms. Composition number 2003. This is a special piece for the state legislature. And see, when you turn the switch on for the vacuum cleaner, Vegas sucks everything out of the state.
Right on. So is this a little anti-political, or tell me something about it? Tell me something, please. Tell me.
About Vegas.
Yeah. Is that your opinion, general consensus?
They have all the votes, and they're all people that they haven't even been in Nevada for very long. Only 20% of Nevada residents are natives.
I know, so I would be one of those like 80%, correct? Because I'm not from here. I don't mean to bother anybody, but I love it here, don't get me wrong, but I still say Nevada. Does that make me wrong?
In some circles, that's a good way to get in trouble. Don't you get tired of people complaining?
This is Dean Roberts with Sierra Shorts. Take it easy.
This is Ushila, and we are here in the deserts of Barstow. I am here to channel some feelings that I pick up from Flapjack, the donkey. He was a great warrior. That's what it was. He was a great warrior who was stuck in a prison for so many years that he is now serving the sentence of the jackass, the wild jackass. He is trying to take off my arm. You see, that is the warrior in him. He will never stop to fight. That's what, and then he starts to aggravate me just like the people do. He aggravates me like all the people do. I cannot do the reading anymore. He's going to try to chew off the table. But the most important thing is that we all have past lives, each and every one of us. And the most important thing is that you take this into consideration when you have a pet, that he has a life, he has a history, and you must remember that. This is Ushila. Goodbye from now.
What are we going to do today?
We're going to go war driving.
War driving? What is war driving?
War driving is wireless access reconnaissance. It's when we go driving around looking for open wireless networks.
So you have a laptop there?
Yep. We have a laptop here, and connected to the laptop is a little wireless antenna. And we also have running out the backside of it going to a GPS unit so that we know where we are. We're starting at the Record Street Cafe, which has an actual open wireless network that you can get access to the internet. But what we're going to do today is drive around a little bit and find some open networks. You'd be amazed at how many there are in Reno. Radio signals know no doors, they know no walls. They'll transmit out as far as they can. So if you set up a wireless network in your home or your office, then anybody driving by, oh, we just picked up a packet there. Anybody driving by can pick up those signals and find that you've got an open network. If you're not running any kind of encryption on it, then it means that people can come in and get onto your network, maybe break into your computers, or just share your internet connectivity. It's a very common thing to do these days for people to go out and check the internet. Yeah, all of those weep, weep, weep sounds, that means we're finding new networks. One thing that we're setting up is to try and open as many wireless networks in the Reno area with the Reno Area Wireless Users Group, where we'll try and set it up so that people can go to a park and be online if they want with a wireless computer like a laptop or a Palm Pilot or any kind of PDA like that. There's all kinds of possibilities of what can be done. Cool.
And in national news, Dateline, Chicago. A couple bought a sport utility vehicle and got extras they didn't even know about. The windows wouldn't go down all the way, so they took it in to be looked at. Mechanics found nearly 50 pounds of marijuana stashed in the seats and side panels. Apparently, that was the new Ford Inhaler model.
London, England. Swimmers have been warned to stay away from a sexually frustrated dolphin off a seaside resort after it tried to lure unwary humans out to sea in a bid to mate with them. This dolphin gets very sexually aggressive. He has already attempted to mate with some divers, U.S. Marine expert Rick O'Berry said. When dolphins get sexually excited, they try to isolate a swimmer, normally female. They do this by circling around the individual and gradually move them away from the beach. This is not encouraged, however, since adult dolphins, usually in the neighborhood of 400 pounds, could easily drown a human during foreplay. Since his arrival, the dolphin has become a major attraction.
Two German motorists were had an all-too-literal head-on collision in heavy fog near the small town of Gerschwadetslung. Each was guiding his car at a snail's pace near the center of the road. At the moment of impact, their heads were bumped out of the window. When they smacked them together, both men were hospitalized with severe head injuries. Their cars were not scratched.
First and foremost, a thrift store. And we have used, or I'd like to say previously worn clothing. We also have cooler stuff than your average thrift shop, and it's kind of like we've gone to the thrift shop for you.
Show us.
And culled the crap. Okay, a faux leopard suit.
That is beautiful.
Is that gorgeous? I mean, really, you expect to pay, I don't know, $40 for this suit. Here it's only $35.
Wow, that is a great deal. Do you have anything that was worn by Dawn Wells, a.k.a. Marianne of Gilligan's Island?
I don't have anything specifically worn by Marianne, but I have things that Marianne could have worn.
Ah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I have things
That's
that Elizabeth Montgomery on Bewitched would have worn. And I have things that Donna Reed could have worn.
Yeah.
I mean, really, are these Donna Reed or what? We do buy clothing and we buy, sell, and
Okay,
trade.
I want to trade these pants in that I'm wearing right now for those leotards over there.
Well, I think you'd look fetching in those leotards.
Okay, great.
But the pants have to be washed. Even though I wash them myself, I make people wash them before they bring them in so I can see if there's stains or things that don't come out.
Okay, great. All
But
right, well,
I'd make an exception for you.
Thanks a lot.
If I can see you in the leotard. And don't forget our cherry vanilla ceiling.
Sierra Shorts!
La 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 la. Gee, I must be lost. It's a good thing I'm in such a nice neighborhood, though. Wow, look at all these big houses. Uh-oh. What seems to be the matter, officer?
Are you aware that your headlights are on? Step out of the car.
Looks like little brother got more than he bargained for when he made that wrong turn. You see, police officers are constantly on the lookout for people or things that seem out of place. Often their choice is based on color, appearance, or displays of youthful exuberance, and may have nothing to do with whether or not the person has committed a crime.
Officer, is that really necessary? I just want to get home.
Well, protection against unnecessary search and seizure is guaranteed by our Constitution. However, you'll need to wait for the drug-sniffing dogs to get here before we can let you go.
Uh-oh, little brother is in a real pinch. Drug-sniffing dogs are often used during traffic stops when a person refuses to allow an unlawful search of his or her vehicle. If the dog thinks it smells something funny, the officers have the probable cause they need to proceed with a search.
Hey there, Spot. Yeah, I didn't like the looks of him either. Step out of the car, sir.
What do you do, Doc?
Commercial photographer, videographer.
How long have you been a photographer?
1949.
What brought you into photography?
Oh, I was born and raised with it back in Pennsylvania. My neighbor was a commercial photographer.
Who are your influences in photography?
Oh, pretty tough to say. I like Ansel Adams stuff, the fine art stuff. In fact, I'm doing fine art stuff again. I did the Misfits. I did a movie on the movie for the Misfits. And at the same time, I did stills. I'm starting to sell them. We're making giclée prints. And we have a show in Florida and another one in Maui right now.
What was it like working with Clark Gable and Marilyn Monroe?
Clark Gable was one of us. He was real people. He was a real pro. He went to work in the morning like everybody, and he was ready to go, and he was ready to roll. And then Marilyn Monroe was on uppers or downers, and she'd get there late and then had to wake up and get going. And once she was back on normal line, she was okay.
Do you have any words of wisdom to impart to any future photographers out there?
Go to school.
All right.
It's a business of so many details that you might as well just go to school and learn it.
Where can someone purchase these prints?
Locally, they can just call me.
Well, great, Doc. Thanks so much for the interview.
Hi, and I'm Victoria Monroe, and thank you for joining me. I'm here backstage at the Reno Hilton, and I'm very, very excited because guess who I have here? This is world-famous guitar rock and roll legend, and once again, Grammy nominee, Mr. Joe Satriani, the man who is the guitar. You've been nominated for a Grammy, 13 times now.
That's right, yeah. A couple of records, like Surfing and I can't remember now, some other record, maybe it was The Extremist, had double nominations that year. And a couple of songs got nominated more than once, like Summer Song, Always With Me, Always With You, because of live versions and studio versions. But this is lucky number 13.
You've been described as a self-taught virtuoso, and I was wondering, as you were growing up and learning the guitar and being the most fabulous guitarist that you are, is there anyone, as you were growing up, that you sort of idolized? You know, and that you kind of modeled yourself after, and anybody contemporarily that you find, you know, that you are inspired by?
Wow. Well, Jimi Hendrix was my main inspiration, and I literally quit the football team the day that he died and devoted at least my mental life to playing the guitar. And of course, once I started, I realized how hard it was, because everyone really sucks when they start. It's a difficult instrument, you know, that first week or so, and then you slowly get going with it. But it's very difficult to go from beginner to intermediate and then to decide whether or not it's worth putting in all that effort and sacrifice to go into professional mode. You know? But I learned from jamming with records by the Stones, the Beatles, the Doors, listening to Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton playing Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and bands I was in high school. And I learned and copied and absorbed from anyone who ever played anything really great as a kid, and I tried to take it in and make it part of my background, my roots. once I have a guitar on, I can walk in front of any stage. I don't care if it's 100,000 people. It doesn't bother me. But you take the guitar away and you say something. I'm sort of like,
You're doing very, very well. And I just want to thank you so much for joining us. It was very, very nice of you to do so. And congratulations on your Grammy nomination. It's very exciting, and we're so very happy to have you here in Reno. And do come back when you win. Can I kiss your head?
Yes.
Okay.
Greetings, Earthlings. Log on to ZeroShorts.com or perish in the Sluridium mines of Xanador. And remember, resistance is futile.
Chesterton, Indiana. Cops responded to a call of a suspicious man in a gas station bathroom. When they got there, they couldn't help but notice the odor of glue. They asked if he'd been sniffing glue. Nope, not him, he said. But he tried to throw his cigarette away and it stuck to his fingers.
A businessman who was attacked by a crocodile in Malawi escaped by biting the reptile in its nose, police said Thursday. Matt Bosco Chawinga, 43, went for a swim in a lake in this southern African nation when the crocodile grabbed him, said Bob Matenga, a senior police officer in the area. Chawinga sucked his teeth in this crocodile's nose, one of the few soft places on its body, and the reptile let him go. Crocodile attacks are a common occurrence in Malawi.
80-year-old Hannah Greaves is none too happy with the Leeds General Hospital because she has to wait 18 months for an appointment to treat her arthritis. And if you think that's a long time to wait, consider her husband Harry, who finally received a phone call from the hospital saying he could come in next week for his heart problems. He might have trouble getting to the appointment, though. He died of a heart attack 21 years ago.
Yeah, Spot? You say chick under the seat, boy? Why, there's nothing here but a bunch of lug nuts. Hey, don't lick them, Spot. That's gross. Wow, looks like these lug nuts were laced with LSD. You're under arrest.
Lug nuts. I guess little brother forgot that stiff mandatory minimum laws require prison sentences to be carried out based on the type and weight of contraband, regardless of how much of an actual drug is present. Federal mandatory minimum laws require that 10 grams of LSD will garner a 10-year prison sentence with no chance for parole. A single LSD-laced lug nut would result in a minimum of 235 months in prison. A safer choice would have been pure liquid LSD, which can weigh as little as 0.05 milligrams per dose and garner no mandatory minimum at all. The other mistake little brother made was hiding his contraband underneath the driver's seat. Very obvious. Although no hiding technique is perfect, if one is traveling a long distance, the safest place to store illegal drugs is still your own rectal cavity. Place your drugs inside several securely tied condoms. Remember to use a water-based lubricant and not an oil-based one, as this can weaken the membrane and lead to a potentially hazardous situation.
Every full-grown emperor needs one war to make him famous. I'll tell you how it should all be done. Whenever there's a big war coming on, you should rope off a big field, and on the big day, you should take all the kings and their cabinets and their generals, put them in the center dressed in their underpants, and let them fight it out with clubs. The best country wins.
Hi, this is Esther from Sierra Shorts. I am here tonight with Eddie and Kaylee, and I'm about to get my nose pierced. And I'm a little freaked out right now. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Clear your nose.
Okay? No more boogies, folks. Okay. Yeah. Houston, we have a go.
Wait, don't put it in the wrong hole.
It always sucks when you get it in the wrong hole. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh. Oh. See? I did it. Do you see the little tears swelling in my eyes? This is Esther from Sierra Short saying, I got pierced at a few inklings, so should you.
Today we'll read from the inspirational text, The Prophet by Kellogg Albrecht.
He is being very astute for a non-Hindu. I am especially liking page 23.
He speaks of pure love.
Read it.
It is impossible to pass a camel through the eye of a needle unless it is lightly greased.
Oh, such deep symbolism. It is making my chakras quake. But what kind of grease is being most suitable for enlightenment?
Damned bird. It must be vegetarian. One more time, it's up to KFC with you.
The both of you. The only pure oil is being Kama Sutra's love oil.
And it's on special today. KFC!
That's right, Kama Sutra's Passion Palace we are having every day, low prices.
And senior citizen discounts too.
Chiquita Pequeña Persona, and I'm with my best friend Liz Capatrova, la doctora. And today we have a special guest, Moonbeam. That's the light from the sign of the moon that's shining down this her. She has a problem and we're going to talk about it today. Honey, explain to me, what's happened?
I have a terrible problem getting men. It's like I go to gyms and I think that picking up these things and working out will get me men, but they don't pay attention to me. They ask me out for dinner and I just can't eat at dinner time.
Oh, just your
you got to eat.
A steak, a porterhouse.
Yeah.
Eat something, prime rib.
In my country, first thing you do, you take men out, you give them beer.
Yeah.
Beer make you big, strong woman. Men like that. And you get them a little, and you can get, look, each ring, a different man. No problem.
Just there, nothing to be done.
Eat, huh?
Just eat, honey.
Eat.
Do you like Mexican food? Enchiladas.
Protein.
Tacos.
Have to grow,
Men, food, men.
The way to a man's heart is to his stomach. Okay?
I love
You
that.
need to eat.
Yeah. And you always have to eat. And we teach you cook. I write cookbooks. Teach you all kinds of Russian food. Pirashki, the borscht. Oh, make you very good.
But I get a men to this,
Yes.
We promise. Guaranteed.
Just feed them. You eat with them. Everything is going to be just fine.
Wow.
Oh, listen. Thank you for tuning in. Now that we got her problem straight, next time we keep you on that okay?
Don't forget, put it on before you put it in.
Okay.
In his private booth by the smoke machine and the turbo game and the register and the door with the draft, he sits. His eyes dart from one couple to another, burning holes through each of them, two at a time, knowing they are not him and he is not them. His thumbs twiddle over his Salisbury steak. He eats alone and no one wonders why.